Let's continue with Hilchot Shabbat, Perek Yud Gimel, Halacha He. כבר אמרנו שאין המוסים ברשות לרשות חייב עד שיעקור ויניח, אבל אם עקר ולא הניח, או הניח ולא עקר פטור. לפיכך מי שהיה עומד באחד משתי רשויות, ופשט ידו לרשות שנייה, והחפץ בידו, ונטלו אחר ממנו, או שנתן אחר לידו חפץ, והחזיר ידיו אליו, שניהם פטורים, מפני שזה עקר וזה הניח. So the situation here is, let's say a person is standing in Reshut Harabim, right? Let's say the Baal HaBayit, let's use the example of the Mishnah. The Baal HaBayit is standing in Reshut HaYachid, and he has a piece of bread, and he took the bread from his house and he stuck it out the window. And let's say the ani, now, if he would have taken the bread out of his house, that's considered akira. And then if he would have put the bread in the hand of the ani, that would be considered hanaha. So it would be hayab. But here, he stuck his hand out the window, and the ani took the bread from his hand. Yes? So in that case, we say he's patur. Now, why is he patur? Let's say the Baal HaBayit, his hand would be inside the house. He didn't stick it outside the window. So you understand that if the Anina sticks his hand inside the house and grabs the bread from the hand of the Baal HaBayit, that's considered Akira. And then the Ani takes it outside, and that's automatically considered Hanacha. But we're saying that if the Baal HaBayit sticks his hand outside the window, and now the hand of the Baal HaBayit is in Reshut Harabim. So when the Ani takes the bread from the hand of the Baal HaBayit, the bread is in Reshut Harabim. It's not in Reshut Yachid anymore. Right, or if it's Lemala Me'asarat Tefachim, then it's Mekom Petur. But the point is that the Ani is not considered to have done Akira from Reshut Yachid, because you look up where the object is. The object is in a hand, and the hand now is in Reshut Yachid. So that's why the Ani is Patur in that situation. Right? So the Ani did Akira. He did Akira from Reshut Harabim. And he did Hanacha in Reshut Harabim. That's why he's Patur. The Baal HaBayit did Akira. He did Akira from Reshut Yachid. But he never did Hanacha. So now wait, you say, well, hold on 1 second. I understand why the Ani is Patur. The Ani is Patur because he did Akira, and we did Akira. The bread was already in the Reshut Harabim in the hand of the Baal HaBayit, because the hand is in the Reshut Harabim. So when the Ani does Akira, he does Akira from the Reshut Harabim, and when he does Hanacha, he does Hanacha in the Reshut Harabim. So we understand why the Ani is Patur. Why is the Baal HaBayit Patur? You agree with me, and it was explicit, that if the Baal HaBayit had the object, the bread in his hand, and he walked outside with the bread, and it's still in his hand, he would be considered to have done Akira in the Reshut Harabim and Hanacha in the Reshut Yachid. Akira in the Reshut Yachid and Hanacha in the Reshut Harabim, by virtue of the fact that the bread is in his hand. So let's take an example. The Baal HaBayit has bread in his hand. Okay, he has bread in his hand. He's in the Reshut Yachid. His hand is like this the whole time. He walks outside to the Reshut Harabim and he stops. He's Hayab. Because when he walked, he lifted himself up from Reshut HaYachid. And while he lifted himself, he lifted the bread. And he went to Reshut Harabim. And when he stopped, the bread stopped and he was in his hand the whole time. Why is it that if he sticks his hand outside the window, Now the bread is inside his hand. It's munach in reshut harabim. Why is he patur? You understand the question? It's a good question. Right? So the answer is, the Baal Habayit did Akira in Reshut Yachid. That's obvious. He had the hand in Reshut Yachid, and that was his hand is no longer in Reshut Yachid. So he did Akira, but it's not considered Hanaha. Because when a person sticks his hand outside the window, it's not Munach. How long can a person stay like this? This isn't a stable situation, right? So the person has his hand outside the window. Oh, the shoulder's beginning to hurt. It's like the shemen al gabei hamayim that is patur. Why is shemen al gabei hamayim patur? Because it's a dynamic situation. The water is in a state of flux. Similarly, when the guy's holding his hand like this outside the window, there's no hanacha. There was akira, but there's no hanacha because the hand can't stay like this. How long is the hand going to stay like this? Eventually, he's going to have to, rest or go down. So that's not considered hanacha. Hanacha means a stable situation. Now, why do we say that yadot shel adam hashuva lo kal ba'al al ba'a? Because the hand is a stable situation normally. But if the guy is standing in one reshut and his hand is in another reshut, his hand is not stable anymore, and therefore there's never hanacha. Very amok, very precise, very precise. Similarly, או שנתן לידו חפץ והחזיר ידיו אליו, שניהם פטורים. Similarly, if the ani was to take something and put it in the hand of the Baal Habayit, the hand of the Baal Habayit is outside. So when the ani takes something from Reshut Harabim, he does Akira in the Reshut Harabim, he does Hanacha in the hand of the Baal Habayit, but the hand of the Baal Habayit is in the Reshut Harabim, so he technically did Akira in the Reshut Harabim, but he never really did Hanacha. Because again, the hand is an unstable situation, but if he would have done Hanacha, it would have been in the Reshut Harabim anyway. Right. Now, when the Baal Habayit is Mahasir Yadav Elav, why do we say it's Patur? I did Akira in the Reshut Harabim. No. The Ani did Akira in the Reshut Harabim. But it was in his hand. And we say, so when the Baal Habayit takes the hand back in, that should be considered Akira, and then it's Hanacha in the Reshut Yachid. Because when the object is in the hand of the Baal Habayit, it's unstable again. And because the object is unstable, it's not considered munach in the hand. And since it's not considered munach in the hand, it's not considered to be akira. So therefore, he only did hanacha. That's the precise meaning of this halacha.